Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we will be exploring the amazing world of deep-sea ecosystems. The dictionary definition of a deep-sea ecosystem is a community of living organisms and their physical environment located in the deepest parts of the ocean. Today's video will consist of unique creatures, habitats, and adaptations that make life possible in the deepest parts of the ocean. Let's dive in.
The deep sea begins at depths below 200 meters. Beyond this point, sunlight can no longer reach, creating an environment unlike any other. Here are the key extreme conditions that define the deep sea. First, there's high pressure. As you descend, the weight of the water around you increases dramatically. At these depths, the pressure can be hundreds of times greater than what we experience at the surface. This immense pressure shapes the creatures and landscapes found down there. Next, darkness dominates. Since sunlight doesn't penetrate beyond 200 meters, the deep sea is pitch black. No natural light means no plants can grow here, and many animals have evolved unique ways to survive without it. Finally, the temperature is near freezing. The water is incredibly cold, typically hovering around 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, or 35 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite the cold, life thrives in this harsh environment. Together, these conditions, high pressure, complete darkness, and freezing temperatures make the deep sea one of the most extreme and least explored places on our planet.
So, as we know, there are many fascinating animals living in the ocean, but today we'll focus on 4 of the most unique ones that actually dwell in the deep sea. First, the anglerfish. When you hear angler, you might think of a geometry angle. But this fish is all about fishing in the dark. It has a glowing lure on its head that it wiggles to attract prey, kind of like dangling a flashlight snack trap in the midnight ocean. Next, the giant squid. Think of it as the true Goliath of the deep. These mysterious creatures can grow as long as a school bus, with tentacles covered in sharp suction cups to grab their prey. They're rarely seen, which makes them even more legendary. Then, the vampire squid. Don't worry, it doesn't actually drink blood. But its name fits. To be honest, it kind of looks like it's wearing a Dracula cape. But instead of sucking blood, it uses bioluminescence to confuse predators and floats slowly to save energy in the cold, dark depths. Finally, the Dumbo octopus. Just like the Disney elephant, it has big, ear-like fins that help it fly gracefully through the water. Unlike many of its relatives, it doesn't ink. It's adapted to a calm, low-light life deep in the ocean. These animals show us just how weird and wonderful the deep sea really is. Each one has special adaptations that help it survive where there's almost no light and intense pressure, proving the ocean still has many secrets left to discover.
Let's look into human exploration. This is a very important topic when studying the deep sea. Humans have always been fascinated by the deep sea, but exploring it was and has continued to be nearly impossible. That is until modern technology. Early attempts to explore included diving bells and experimental submarines, which were limited in depth and duration. A well-known example of this is the OceanGate Titan submersible. This submersible carried 5 individuals in 2023 but unfortunately imploded. This resulted in the death of all passengers. But there are remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, that explore areas far too dangerous for humans. These vehicles often transmit live footage and collect samples. Now, because of these ROVs, humans have made incredible discoveries such as hypothermal vents that support unique ecosystems. In the deep sea, scientists have identified entirely new species of fish, jellyfish, and invertebrates that were previously unknown. It also consists of sponge gardens, which reveal ecosystems that are not only fragile but incredibly diverse. Many explorations have even uncovered evidence of underwater geological activity, for example, underwater volcanoes and trenches. Every expedition gives insight on how life can survive in such extreme conditions. Not only do these discoveries expand our understanding of marine biology, but they hint at potential applications in medicine and technology. Now let's talk about some of the biggest threats to the deep sea. One major concern is deep-sea mining. Companies are starting to look at the ocean floor for minerals, but this can destroy fragile ecosystems that take thousands of years to form. Another threat is climate change. Warmer waters and higher levels of carbon dioxide are affecting ocean currents, food chains, and even the survival of deep-sea species. Finally, there's pollution. From plastic waste sinking to the bottom, to toxic chemicals and oil spills, human pollution is reaching even the most remote parts of the ocean. All of these threats show that the deep sea is not as untouched as we once thought, and protecting it is becoming more urgent than ever. Another issue is noise pollution. Ships and drilling activities create loud sounds that disturb deep-sea animals who rely on sound to survive. There's also microplastic pollution. Tiny plastic particles have been discovered in deep-sea creatures, showing how far our waste really travels. Lastly, overfishing in deep waters threatens species that grow slowly and can't easily recover once their populations drop.
Life in the deep sea is like living in another world, cold, dark, and under crushing pressure constantly. Here are 4 adaptations these animals have to survive the environment. Bioluminescence. Many deep-sea animals glow in the dark. They produce their own light to attract prey, find mates, or confuse predators. Larger eyes with barely any sunlight. Big eyes help these animals catch even the tiniest glimmer of light. Pressure-resistant bodies. Down there, the pressure could crush a submarine, but deep-sea animals have soft, flexible bodies without air pockets to create resistance from getting squished. Slow metabolism. Food is scarce in the deep sea, so these creatures use very little energy and move slowly when underwater.
The deep sea isn't just some spooky underwater world, it's actually one of the most important places on Earth. First, it's like nature's ultimate treasure chest of biodiversity. Scientists are still finding brand new creatures down there, and trust me, they're stranger than anything you've seen in a science fiction movie. Second, it could be the next big thing in medicine. Deep-sea animals have chemicals in their bodies that might help cure diseases, fight infections, or even inspire new technologies. Basically, it's nature's secret lab. And finally, the deep sea is a climate superhero. It stores huge amounts of carbon, helping keep our planet's temperature in check. Without it, Earth would be a very different place. So yeah, the deep sea isn't just cool, it's kind of a big deal. So, we've explored some of the wildest parts of the deep sea, from glowing anglerfish to massive squid, and all the crazy adaptations that let them survive in the dark. We've seen why the deep sea isn't just mysterious. It's important for our planet too. The deep sea is still one of Earth's last frontiers, full of secrets we haven't even uncovered yet. And honestly, that's pretty epic. The deep sea isn't just some faraway place, we're all part of its story. Let's protect it before its secrets disappear forever.
And with that, we shall end our video, but before we go, I want to leave you with one final call to action. Our oceans are drowning in pollution, but there is still hope if we act now. Every single one of us has the power to make a difference. It can be as simple as cutting down on plastic, reusing what we already have, recycling responsibly, or joining local cleanup efforts in your community. Even sharing information online or starting conversations about ocean protection helps raise awareness, and awareness is the first step toward change. Remember, the ocean isn't just water, it's the heart of our planet. It produces most of the oxygen we breathe, it regulates the Earth's temperature, and it supports countless species, including us. If we lose the ocean, we lose so much more than just beautiful beaches or marine life, we lose our future. So let's come together and protect it. Let's choose to be part of the solution and not the problem. Whether your action feels small or big, it matters. Change starts with you, and it starts today. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and most importantly, do your part to keep our oceans clean and alive for generations to come.
This video was brought to you by Alex Kasai, Nadia Clifford, and Amy Rivers. We came together to create this project because we believe that spreading awareness about the ocean is one of the most powerful steps we can take toward protecting it. While researching and putting this video together, we learned so much ourselves, and it made us realize how connected our lives really are to the sea. Our hope is that you didn't just watch a video, you walked away with something to think about and maybe even to act on. If you share what you've learned, talk about it with others, or make one small change in your daily routine, then this project will have done what we set out to do. So from Alex, Nadia, and Amy, thank you for taking the time to listen. We hope you enjoyed it, and we encourage you to keep this conversation going. Together, we can make a difference.